I'm Jessica Macht, a partner at PwC, and I lead our financial services practice here in BC. And I'm here with Jeff Wong, Chief Digital Information and Technology Officer at Coast Capital Savings, to talk about open banking. We released our report, Canadian Banks, focusing on open banking, and came out with a position that open banking is coming to Canada. Thoughts on this?
I think you're right. I think it's something that it's right now being driven by the regulatory environment. I actually believe it's something that our members, our customers of large organizations, and individuals in general, and consumers of banking services like yourself and myself are going to be demanding.
Do you see this as an opportunity or a threat for the credit union system?
I think it's both. At Coast, we definitely see this as an opportunity to serve our members better. If organizations can kind of take data from multiple inputs and actually help customers, members, drive more actionable insights, help them plan budgets better, kind of alert them around spending habits, teach them better habits around spending, I think that's a great opportunity. So we look at it as how do we better improve the lives of our members, specifically around finances.
What does Coast and what do other credit unions need to do to ready themselves for that future?
Yeah, that's a great question. Open banking sounds easier than it is. When you think about it, if we work backwards from the value chain and what I talked about being able to provide insights to your customers, your members, to do that, you really have to have an understanding of the data sets. From a regulatory perspective, there's no framework around how those data sets are governed, and I think that's what part of this consultation will be able to drive. But even if you have those pieces where data is kind of parsed and provided in a consistent level between all financial institutions, you still have to have the infrastructure to be able to action the data. The classic example is, and even today at Coast, is we actually have too much data. It's more of what does this mean? So you have data, what is it telling you? And beyond what is it telling you, what is it telling you to do and how do you action it? That piece is actually quite technically difficult in terms of technology.
Jeff, does the credit union system need to be at the table along with the government and the large financial institutions?
Absolutely, I believe they have to be at the table and they should express their opinions and their views, because otherwise they're going to be told to follow a regulation or they're going to be told that they have to do this. And without any input, government or the regulator is not going to completely understand what the impacts of these smaller institutions are and what the impact is of them achieving some of these requirements. So absolutely, I believe they have to be at the table, and the heart of it, they should have their voice and express their opinion.
Does the portability of data and the increased consumer choice not increase the need to double down on member experience? And perhaps the DNA of the credit union system gives you a competitive advantage in that regard.
A lot of members, they inherently trust their credit unions, and I think it comes back from kind of the whole credit union movement back in the days where these small farmers or organizations couldn't get funding, and they tried to create a cooperative movement where they could actually put in money and fund other organizations. I think with that being said, you have a huge advantage if you can resonate with your members. Why? They inherently trust a credit union that they've been dealing with, and a lot of that gets passed down generation to generation over some of those larger organizations which are posting incredible profits every quarter over quarter. I think doubling down on member experience is absolutely the right thing to do and needed where when open banking does come, we believe it will come, the number one asset of the organization, if you consent to it, is no longer yours, and that's your data.
But is there a need to start preparing now?
Whether you call it open banking or whether you call it servicing your customer or member better with more insights, and you do that by collating data in different forms or fashion and representing it back to your members, I think it's inevitable. From that perspective, it's happening today. It's just not happening in a regulated manner where members can consent and share data freely between different organizations. Consent is important.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for spending some time with us to
absolutely.
talk about open banking.
Great, thank you. Appreciate that.